really on a semi high note for the last few movies.
And here we are.
Wow. Back at it again with another episode of... I'm adjusting my mic. I'm sorry if that was making noise. Pick It and Flick It.
Podcast.
The best on YouTube.
The only podcast on all of YouTube.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Close, though.
No, we're the only one.
My name is Vox.
I'm Luke.
And...
I'm Natasha.
Back at it again.
Woohoo.
With another installment of the Halloween Extravaganza. We've done nothing but good movies up to this point, and I have to make it very clear that I said up to this point because we went from a bunch of classics, and we just nose-dove into shit.
Fourth installment with Would You Rather. Okay, did this go to the theaters?
Anyone's guess. It's been on Netflix for as long as I can remember.
I would say, is this a Netflix like original? Or
No, definitely
did
not.
it go into theaters or what? Because both times I watched it is on Netflix.
What made you pick this movie?
The first time I had watched it, which was a while ago, I remember not minding it because of like its quirkiness into the horror area, but after rewatching it, I really did mind it a lot. I really did. I minded it watching this because this movie is absolute dog shit.
I couldn't have said it any better myself, and I just looked it up. It went to something called Screamfest, which I'm assuming is some kind of horror convention or festival or some shit, and then direct-to-video, which even that's giving it too much credit, I'd say.
Man almighty. What a pile. A major pile.
So explain the plot to all the kiddies watching.
Okay, so this plot does a very good job at making the viewer not care about anything.
That's exactly it.
And it follows a young lady named Iris who has a very sick brother who we immediately realize we don't need to know anything about because they don't give a shit about that and just make it very relevant that he's sick because he wears a cap. And they have problems with bills because for the first two scenes of the movie, she's sitting at the table, scratching her head, worrying about money.
Right.
But they never...
No, please.
They never even acknowledge what he has. He just has
He's just sick.
A beanie on.
He's insert
and he's pale.
disease here.
Yeah, and so she gets called to the doctor's office where the doctor introduces her to a man who says, I can make all of your problems go away with a little bit of money.
All it is framework to get her to the house.
Right.
For the game.
Where the game begins of Would You Rather, run by some sadistic fuck.
Jeffrey Combs, whom is excellent in this movie. He is chewing the shit out of every scene and every line. Yes.
Literally
he is
chewing.
He is. Yes, because he's always eating.
Always eating something.
I'm going to say sunflower seeds. That'd be my guess, but I don't know.
He had
some kind of nut.
Pistachios
in the
in the
first
first
There was something. But either way, he was hilarious in this movie. Played a great... Like, honestly, he was the one I cared the most about. Looking in hindsight, whom he also plays Herbert West in Reanimator, which
is on our list. And hopefully we can get to that.
Because I love that movie, and I love him. He's a really... I think he's a natural guy. Even in a pile of shit like this, I enjoyed seeing him.
So there was some relatively recognizable faces in this movie, too, which is kind of surprising that it was just casted with these people that we all say, hey, I know that guy. He's from that one thing. But it was poorly executed.
Yeah, do you want me to run through a few
let's go.
So, of course, we got my girl June Squibb, who is phenomenal. She was in Shameless for a little bit.
She's the old lady.
Just a kind old lady.
Yes.
She's in Palm Springs, too, on Hulu.
Bevins, the butler, was in a bunch of stuff. He's pretty funny in this one. He does a lot of facial acting.
He's the short... fat
he's
and
the
bald.
main butler.
Yeah, I know, but he's the short, fat, and bald James Bond wannabe. That's seriously it. He's got a shiny pistol.
He does. He's got the shiny. The kicker from Waterboy is in it for about 30 seconds, and his character is completely pointless.
Who's that one?
He's the guy who shows up and then gets shot in the face, and that's it. When remember that subplot when he was coming to save them, and then he did nothing?
Oh, the doctor?
Yeah.
That had the scar on
Yeah,
his face?
yeah.
He was the kicker. Oh, he was.
He's the kicker.
Oh my
and,
god! I didn't even put that connection
They
together.
had so many plots that they just like shot,
I have
literally,
notes on
literally
that.
shot
right
it
down.
in the face.
I have notes on that shit.
Right. We got which is weird. His name's Lucas in this movie, and his name is Luca in an episode of Community, which I love that show.
That's
he
why you
plays
called
a
him
war
Luca.
criminal.
What one is that one?
He's the guy who gets his eye cut.
Oh, okay.
And Sasha Grey, who we've come to find out is in adult films.
Oh
which
yeah, she was the goth chick.
She was a terrible
she
actress.
was
She was-
completely
She
pointless.
was a goth chick with like a country accent.
Yeah,
and she
as
had
it
boots
was.
on, but like a purple stripe in her hair, so we knew that she was goth. you know?
And of course, the dad from Home Alone. He's in
Yeah.
it for a bit. And finally, my favorite is Ricky from fucking Trailer Park Boys.
Oh my god,
Who is actually a pretty decent actor. I kind of forgot.
one of the more convincing ones in the movie. I think.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Well, Brittany Snow's also in this movie. She's
Yeah,
been
she's
in
the-
a
she's
lot.
the lead.
She was in Hairspray. She was in Pitch Perfect.
Right, and she's actually pretty good in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
I liked those
I don't know what
movies.
happened in this, but
I don't
She
either.
just is better off in like chick flick comedy films. And
I
not
think if
horror
she's surrounded
movies.
by a bunch of
Yeah.
people that are able to pull off the energy instead of being in
I
like,
would
this really
say-
serious drama.
breaking it down, this is an example of how not to do a female lead in a horror movie.
I agree.
Because I didn't give a shit about her. She was a shitty person, and by the end, it didn't even matter anyway.
No. So we start off like as we kind of explain the plot. We start off at they sit around a table, and she is quickly revealed when dinner is served to be a vegetarian. And how we get introduced to how the game is going to work is she says, "Oh, I can't eat this steak that you gave me because I'm a vegetarian." And he says, "Oh, well, I will give you $10,000 if you eat that steak and liver." And
which is probably the greatest deal you could ever get in life.
I liked what you said. I'm going to steal your line, but this is what you said.
Please.
You would eat steak out of a pig trough.
That
for
is exactly
$10,000.
what I
So
said,
it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, who wouldn't?
Right. And
Vegetarians, that's
and even
Vegans.
I'm just gonna call him the dad from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Is rest in peace, Mr. John Hurd. You were a stud and a scholar, I'm sure. He gets paid $10,000 after being sober for 16 years
More
to
than
drink
that.
some scotch.
More than that.
And
He
a cou-
said
and-
$10,000 for the wine or $50,000 for the whole
Oh.
thing of scotch.
And
So
he fucking
he took a
didn't
bullet.
matter 'cause
he
he-
took a bullet to the face for it. That's how much he loved that scotch.
at least he went out, probably at least
With a
buzz.
bang.
Yeah, literally.
So I will tell you my only good note that I wrote about this movie.
That it ended.
My second good note about this movie is they do a really good job at making you very uncomfortable
Oh yeah.
and holding suspense in this movie.
Yeah, there's quite a few squeamish moments. To be
Actually,
sure.
I guess I lied again. There is a note, even though music, I know we talk about music and audio a lot in these.
That's your thing. I mean,
it is my thing.
yeah.
I look at that heavily. I think that there was enough eeriness. Not that there was music being played. It was just sound quality and audio mixed together of the weird suspense moments being drawn out by a drone or a really nice audio chunk that was thrown in there. So those two things, three things if you want to count specifics, I think was a really good thing that they did in the movie. Other than that,
I would say
we can start picking
anything
this thing apart.
anything that isn't in the game, anything that isn't around that circle set,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just nothing.
Right. Very. I don't know if I want to keep talking here. I want to pass it off to one of you guys, but very unrelatable characters throughout. The
I
whole
was
thing.
going to say they had the framework. They got like a great diverse cast of different characters.
Yeah.
And they just do nothing with it.
And the other thing that kind of bugged me, and I don't know if it bugged either one of you, is they start to sprinkle the this is what this person's doing or what this person's problem is and why they're sitting at the table, but we never. The only person we ever focused on, and we still didn't,
Is the one that no one gives a shit
we
about
gave
anyway.
less of a shit about them. I would rather hear more about the goth chick whose husband drowned their baby, which
Right.
is revealed in
It
the
was-
last 10 seconds she's alive.
Literally one throwaway line. Hey, your baby drowned? What the fuck?
Right.
Let's expand on that. And instead of this fucking cancer kid that gets one line and then just kills himself at the end anyway.
Right.
Which
Well,
I know that's jumping ahead.
Spoiler alert.
Whatever. This movie is nothing. It
I
doesn't matter.
so the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie, probably you guys were talking.
Right.
And that has literally no relevance to the entire movie.
Right.
I felt like. So I feel like they could have given 5 minutes to each person to explain their story.
Right.
And then shortened the fucking credits, but 5 minutes.
Like maybe
The opening and closing credits.
Maybe-
even just like 7 minutes to each character, so we know. And they didn't even need to have a lead. They just had to have her win at the end, and then have him kill himself, and that would have still been crazy.
I would have even said, go ahead, Luke, sorry.
I was gonna say, perfectly piggybacking. That's a mouthful.
Sure.
Off of what Tosh said, instead of doing it terribly, like in something like Suicide Squad, where they literally have like everyone's
Origin all
credentials
at
come up.
Sure.
Just literally the first round, make it so that if you don't tell us why you're here and the real reason, we're gonna kill you. And that'd be a great way to just real quick. Every character has a little bit, so you at least know what they're about, and it's not, hey, I'm the last one here. I had to cut my eye, and now I'm gonna tell you why I'm here, and then you just get shot anyway.
Yeah.
Before he can even say
Right.
it.
I do agree kind of a little bit with that. What I would suggest instead of saying like making that part of the game, because I really liked the first round thing because it showed the brutality of this psychopath who was
Or
gonna
maybe
give you money.
that they're just talking while dinner's getting served or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally anything.
Either
They could have
that
started it right off at dinner and then be like, well, why are you here? And then like jumped back to what's
Right.
going on.
exactly.
To
so
a much better dinner game movie, Clue, if
Right.
you've seen.
of course.
It just starts with them coming to the house. That's all you need.
Yeah, and Family Guy did a really good kind of spin-off episode with that too, which I'm serious that it's really really good compared to some of the other Family Guy spin-offs.
When you're saying that a Family Guy episode is better than an entire movie, something ain't right.
I know, I get it, and I'm a fan of Family Guy, but I agree.
I am too.
So yeah, what I was going to say is kind of like mixing the two together. I would like to have seen them start at dinner and witnessing like the beforehand having drinks and cocktails and learning about each other, and then seeing a 5-minute segment for those first 20 minutes of like, oh, this happened, and that's why I got invited to this party.
Maybe give a little bit more leeway between the alcoholic drinking,
Right.
and maybe he just, after he drinks that scotch, he just turns into a fucking complete like mess, and that's when he gets shot. Is like he just like freaks out or something, and that's the first like, whoa, okay, maybe this isn't what it seems.
Right.
Yeah,
And
'cause
Instead
this-
of
Sorry.
no,
no, go ahead.
This kind of movie doesn't I feel like it didn't even need a lead.
No,
not at all.
no.
Not at all. We did not need to see her and her brother to focus on what this movie was about.
Because having
at
her
all.
be the lead just means that she's gonna be
You
the
know.
last one out.
Right.
If you have a lead
because
in this kind of
especially
movie.
with a movie like this, you should not only have no lead, but like each one of these characters is meant, at least in good movies, when they do a diverse band of characters, it's so that like, say the three of us are watching, we can all identify with somebody.
Sure.
Yeah, or they all have their equal shot. And no one's
Right.
no, the movie's just predictable.
Right. So I'm going to ride the segue train right into this one. Speaking of a lead and how we're supposed to focus on her, she is such a relatable and ununderstandable character. And I wrote this down. The first test is a shock test. So if you haven't seen the movie, basically it's two people put headsets on, and the one person has to decide who gets shocked, or if you shock yourself or shock someone else. And across from me, these guys are putting headsets on like
We were imitating what the thing looked like with
So
our
anyways,
headphones.
you either shock yourself or shock someone else, and then it rotates back and forth and blah blah blah. So
Yeah, you
whoever-
can either shock yourself or
Yeah.
or the person to your right.
And when it gets to Iris, who is our lead character, she struggles twice. Count them, twice.
Uno, dos.
To have like the don't put the headset on me, even though she knows what's been going on for the past 6 people, and then after she struggles for that 30 seconds, she chooses to electrocute herself anyways, was what she was preventing to do. What? I'm sorry. I get she's supposed to be this little innocent, like I'm trying to make this,
Which doesn't make sense anyway, because
No, it's just-
90% of her decisions are shit anyway.
Oh my god, I just didn't understand why they're making her seem like she's struggling to put the headset on, but then chooses to electrocute herself anyways, even though she's clearly showing she does not want that to happen. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not going to focus on that much longer. I just wanted to point out that was a very poor character building decision.
And the thing is like, honestly, like that Travis guy, the army guy.
Yes.
He was had like the most development, and he put up a good fight. I'll give him that. He mouthed off, so he obviously was targeted. He put up a good fight, but shit, I gave a shit more about him in the 3 minutes he was in the movie.
Yes.
Versus Iris.
I agree.
Fucking everyone hated Iris.
Yes. And again, snaking down the pipe here, he gets punished by getting whipped by everyone because he smarted off or stood up to or talked back to, whatever you want to call it, to the game maker's son.
We'll just call him Herbert West.
Okay. And you pointed out he would actually make a really good Riddler.
Yes,
And
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He was just such a slimy little shit.
Yeah, he's gonna get the point.
I also said he looked like a discount Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Sure. I mean, kind of same thing.
But instead of
assholey.
Oh yeah, he just kind of vanishes from the movie.
So that's
now
what I was
that
gonna say.
think of it.
He goes into a basement, and not to split two, to chase Iris after they try to escape.
Earlier in the movie, they hatch a plan to escape. Iris gets away. That's when the guy from Waterboy shows up.
I wanted to talk about that. That's what I'm saying. We'll split.
Yeah,
into
he
two
gets
little
kind of Joffrey gets kind of rapey for a minute there.
Yes.
Starts licking her or whatever the fuck he does.
Sniffing on her armpit.
She stabs him with the ice pick, and then he's just kind of gone.
Yeah,
that's it.
And
that's the last we see.
We get
of
a
him.
little bit of like, I'm sorry,
he gets taken up to his room, and he's like 30 years old.
I know.
He's like, the dad comes in and is like, I'm sorry, my son tried to rape you. I'll let you continue to play because that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, ever since his mother died.
He just wants to
Okay,
rape
that's
people.
okay.
Yeah. So that was funny to me too, because yet another character that we don't need to give a fuck about, who literally contributes zero things.
Yeah, he
to
didn't
the
need to
story,
be there.
just disappears anyways because he's a useless fucking character, and there we go. Now rewinding here to Waterboy Kid,
The kicker.
I feel like, and it was kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where movies have to extend opening credits and end credits to meet the mark, to make sure it's
Push it
full
over
length.
feature length.
Yeah, to make sure it's a feature-length movie and or longer. I feel like the same thing happened with the Doctor. We see him in the beginning trying to be a good guy. Hey, I'm going to, introduce you to this person who's going to help you get some money, blah, blah, blah. Then he realizes, oh, shit, I did a bad thing to a girl. And why he picked this girl out of all the people that he has clearly been referring to this party.
This isn't the first recruit he's gotten. Yeah.
And we find out, because he has a scar on his face, that he's clearly been electrocuted, stabbed, scraped, whatever. And he gets paid a lot of money by this person because he refers patients to the guy who's running the game. Anyways, we see him 4 different times, at least 30 to a minute and a half each. Him getting the gun, him getting in his car, him driving, him getting to the house, him sneaking into the cellar, and then all of a sudden he walks out of nowhere when Joffrey is going to fucking try to rape Iris, and he gets shot in the face. Why would you put a character into a movie,
I've got 3.
show him 4 different times, 5 different times, and then kill him without saying more than 2 lines?
He was...
No.
Yeah. He literally... It was
There's so much going on.
It was so fast, too. There was no suspension buildup. He just, ran in, and then he said something, and then he was shot.
Oh, my God.
I've got 3 options or theories of what that is.
Okay, let's hear it.
From most plausible to...
least plausible.
1, they ran out of money. So there might have been more with them. They might have just run out of money.
Okay.
And weren't able to go for it.
Sure.
Or maybe there was more deleted scenes. I don't think so, considering how long they stretched it, but anything's possible.
Right.
And the third being they were probably trying to do let's subvert the expectations and just fucking kill them for no reason. So,
I wish I had my phone on me, but I don't. We chose these 2 movies tonight, breaking the wall, I guess. We watched 2 at the same time, but we chose the last 2 movies that we did because they were shorter. I feel like we have watched 2 and 2.5 hour long movies that went by in a snap compared to this movie. This movie was really long.
Yeah,
and I
really
had already
struck.
kind of shit on Trick or Treat for being boring. This is a whole new goddamn level.
Yeah.
Of really boring.
I've seen torture videos that were more exciting.
Should we beep that?
What?
I said, should we bleep that?
No.
That was actually the last note that I had, and it was the end note is boring.
Yeah.
That was the.
I mean,
end
like
of
even the
this.
color palette was just bland as fuck.
It's not eye catching.
No.
The music, the lack thereof, although being suspenseful, it is droning. It's very droning. So it's just long single note things that are being pulled out. Character development is bare minimum, and I truly think, even though I know we're kind of pedaling backwards at this point, I truly think that if there was some good character development, it would be a little bit more interesting. Some of the the rounds, the acting was terrible as well. Some of the rounds, I think, were kind of creative.
Yeah, there were definitely glimpses of good stuff in it. Like I definitely think on paper, the barrel for 2 minutes underwater or something probably very bad.
Right.
I think that's really that could be a whole movie.
Right.
I also, like I said, I think it's ironic that Iris didn't get the eye stab one. Whatever.
Right. Of course.
You can let that be. But I just think, like, they had a few good ideas and then just completely dropped the ball.
It fell really flat.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Can we struggle here and try to find a positive in the movie?
Like I said, love seeing Ricky. He even got a fuck in there. You know?
Yeah.
That's his thing. Like I said, we got a few cool setups. I think Ricky getting his hand blown off with the firework was kind of cool because you know how they always, you know, your mom always said, don't hold the firework too long or that could happen.
Yeah. Yep.
The butler was probably my favorite character aside from Herbert West.
Okay. So you got a couple positives here.
Yeah, I'll throw the movie a few bones, but other than that, like this movie's just nothing.
Right.
That's the best way I could describe. It's 90 minutes of nothing happening.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of ends.
Can you find any positives in this?
It's a good concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what my positive is.
And I think you said it earlier, the like gross out factor or whatever was pretty good in it.
Yeah.
Or
Suspense factor, I
Yeah.
think, is more. I think there, if we're comparing horror to whatever the fuck this is, and for some reason when I was thinking of like, oh, these rounds are kind of good, I came back to Saw. You know, how there's like a game that's being played and you have an option, you know, life or death or cutting your eyeball or you know, getting drowned.
And as we know, a lot of the Saw movies are kind of really bad.
Well, that's a whole nother story that
well, it's not that's a fact.
I think I've said it before. The first 4 are really good, in my opinion. Anyways, we're not going to get into that because that's not what this episode is. But I know that you were getting kind of like wigged out when he had to cut his eye because.
But they didn't even show it.
Right, but would you have rather have them show him cutting into his eye? Okay, I mean, as someone
even though I still was not looking, I still would rather have
had it seen be there. Okay,
that probably would have made the movie better.
I mean, I'm not even going to say a positive because that's my positive as well. I feel like it's a really good idea,
and it's
a good.
That's not if that's the only positive you got for a movie, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Exactly. Did you want to try and take a stab on how we rate movies here, or did you want to leave?
Well, hold on.
Oh,
before
you got
we do
more?
that,
This is it.
This is it. This is the first thing I thought when the movie started.
Okay.
So tell me, Vox, would you rather pick it or flick it?
You went there.
I did.
Do you want to explain how that is, Tosh? Do you want us to take a stab at that?
Oh gosh.
You can do it. You're new here, but you can do it.
We can do it.
So we rate movies if you pick it, then you want to watch it. And if you flick it, you don't want to watch it.
That's right.
Or you wouldn't recommend people watch it if you flick it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we also
rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
so that people
Or
know
0
where
to
it's pretty
10.
easy.
Yeah. So people know where we stand.
We'll give you a little variety.
Because if you listen to some of our past episodes, we may rate things on a lower number scale, and we suggest, watching
because honestly, I think the thumbs up or thumbs down. No disrespect to Roger Ebert and that crowd, but I think that's too narrow almost.
It for sure is. For sure.
Because, like, I don't know, what's just like a 5 out of 10 movie you could think of, like something like that. You don't even really. I don't know where to put it. It's just in the middle.
Right. I can't.
So,
yeah.
Two options I don't think is enough. So I think the 10, it helps us branch out, give a little more detail.
Balance a little bit.
So Vox.
Oh,
since it's your pick.
Okay.
What would you give it?
I'm gonna say flick this one. I don't think you're going to miss out by not watching it. I really don't. There's been stuff in the past where I actually give it a higher number rating and still say flick it. And there's been stuff where I say pick it and give it a lower rating because I think that you should be able to still watch it. There's no benefit to this.
Mm-mm.
You're not getting anything new.
Nope.
You're not getting anything exciting.
Mm-mm.
And that's it. So flick this one right out the window and move on with your life.
So this was my second time seeing the movie.
Right.
And the first time I didn't really mind it. I was
That's
like,
kind
it
of
probably
how I
could have
was.
been better.
Yeah.
So I would say pick it because you might not hate it.
Okay. Just to
You know,
just to say you've seen it?
Just to say you've seen it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm the type of person that would watch any movie if someone's like, watch this movie. So.
Even if it was a 4-hour melodrama about two people stuck in the same room?
Okay. Well,
It's not a real movie.
Oh, I thought you were.
Maybe it is.
It
but
might be.
it depends on the movie, but if they're like, it's an hour and a half of your life, you'll be fine. I'll be like, okay, fine.
Yeah, get some popcorn and a drink
Yeah.
and be good. Okay. Luke?
Shit, I know
Make
I gave this a
drinking
lot.
game out of it. It's fine.
Every time something stupid happens, take a shot.
Just constant drinking.
Yeah. So like you said, I tried to give this at least a few positives.
Sure.
Glass half full type of thing.
Uh-huh.
But this movie was just completely a piece of shit. I can sugarcoat it all day long and say that it was nice to see Ricky. But this movie was just was not good at all. It's a certain flick for me. This concept has been done better elsewhere. There no characters you care about. It looks like shit. The ending's dumb. It's just garbage.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 2. Barely.
Wow.
Barely.
Wow.
It might go down to a 1 later on, but for now I'll give it a 2. Just fuck it. You don't even bother. You know.
Tosh, what's your number?
4.
Yeah, I'm at a 3.5, 4. I don't know which way I balance. I guess it would depend on my
Right.
mood, but
And I've seen this before as well.
Yeah.
This might be my 3rd time seeing it.
Oh,
See, that's
I know.
my thing. I remember seeing it.
It's
and
just
I
a
didn't
movie.
hate it. So
it's been on
Same.
Netflix forever, so I know I've clicked on it
That-
before.
That's
I
why
mean-
I'm saying if you haven't seen it, then see it. But
Don't watch it by
If
yourself.
you've watched it already, don't watch it again.
see, I did watch this by myself.
Really?
The first time I watched it by myself.
See, I feel like I'd fall asleep
And-
if I were
well,
by
I
myself.
don't remember hating it. But
I must have watched it with Mike and Kyle because I remember watching it.
yeah, I just don't remember hating it. And like I said, that's why I picked it, because I was like, I remember this not being the best, but let's see how it holds up. And I'm glad that we were able to sit down, watch it, and come to a conclusion that we can all agree on.
That it's shit.
It's
Yeah.
fucking garbage.
It's definitely the worst we've done.
Absolutely.
It might be the worst we'll do this whole
I
thing.
said on the Trick or Treat one that it could possibly be the lowest, but I forgot that this movie was on the list.
Right.
And goddamn, Trick or Treat is a fucking Oscar-winning
Honestly,
movie compared to this one.
if anything, I think it was good because it shows horror can be done really well or really fucking bad. And this
Yep.
is for every one Trick or Treat or Ghost Ship or The Guest or whatever. The ones we'll get to are arguably, there are a bunch even better than those
Sure.
coming up. For every one of those, there's 10 would you rathers.
Yes.
And
Yep.
that's the hard truth. Horror movies are cheap, they're easy to make. People are scared of just about anything. That's why there's movies about killer snowmen and fucking tires and all kinds of shit.
Hey, that was a good movie.
Rubber is a classic,
That's a good movie.
and I will forever defend that movie. But
I like that movie a lot.
in terms of would you rather, would I rather watch this again or throw myself down a mine shaft? I don't know. The second option sounds pretty enticing right
We're gonna
now.
choose-
If you're gonna watch it, just make a drinking game out of it.
There you
That's
go.
my
Yeah,
suggestion.
just get fucking
Obliterated.
plastered before you watch it, and maybe you'll enjoy it. I don't know.
Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Give us a suggestion. If you're following the series of the Halloween Extravaganza, let us know. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get as many done as we can, as we've mentioned before, and I think that's pretty fun. So,
So-
Luke, anything positive?
Don't watch this movie.
Okay. Tasha?
We're just creeping it real this Halloween.
Oh.
Oh, man. You're going to get a new one every time, aren't you?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Stay spooky, friends.
Bye.